Ever think you're skiing great until you see yourself on video? That was me last year, and wow, did the camera humble me fast. This year, more confidence, more control, and a whole lot of pride. Let's compare last year to this year and break down what changed. Welcome back to week 7 of the Drill Down to Level Up series. Today's video is all about the evidence that the drills, professional instruction, pure determination, and having an absolute blast are paying off. I will be doing a side-by-side comparison of my skiing from last year, January 2025, January 2026, and I brought in some help, my professional race coach boyfriend, to discuss my skiing with some movement analysis to see how far I've come and what some of the biggest issues are that I need to work on going forward. Spoiler alert, there isn't one specific change that made the biggest difference, and the footage proves it. If you're new here, my name is Sunny. I am documenting my comeback to skiing. I am a 54-year-old woman who loved skiing as a child and teen in the 1970s and 80s, but it has been 30 years since I skied regularly. I started back up again with a vengeance 4 seasons ago. And let me tell you, progress like this doesn't always feel obvious when you're living it day to day. In my head, I may think I look like Lindsey Vonn. Then I see the video and reality hits. I have lots of improvement to make. But this week, the reality check was actually pretty good. This video isn't about being perfect. I'm definitely not a World Cup skier on my way to the Olympics, but showing what is actually possible when you stop just skiing around and start committing to drills and the right mindset. I am more confident in tackling terrain this season that I would have flinched at and made drama about. I have a video from last season when I tackled my first double black diamond solo, and believe me, I was freaking out a bit. Now, I don't even give it a second thought, but feelings are subjective. Video is objective. So we are going to look at the proof. Let's set the stage. Late January last season. I remember this day clearly. The snow was decent, but mentally, I was deep in CARV mode every day, and fighting the numbers all the time really started to mess with my mindset. You can see on the screen my actual score, and if you want the full story, you can go back and watch last season and see how it unfolded. So let's compare and see what happens when you put in the work. First, let's look at January 2025 footage on the left. The biggest thing by far is how much more static I am. I transition to a turn, then I wait until it's time to make another turn. I am straighter legged and not as athletic of a stance. I am also a little bit further back. During the transition of the turn, I take forever to get to the new outside ski. I am not putting a lot of pressure on the front of the ski to engage the turning part of the ski. It is like skiing is happening to me instead of me skiing. I have an A-frame in both videos, but it's definitely more prevalent in 2025. Now let's focus on this year, January 2026 on the right. All of these things may seem like slight changes, but it is definitely adding up to me getting better at my technique. I have more rotation in my legs to allow my upper body to continue down the hill cleaner. The extension and the retraction of my legs have improved. I am trusting the edges more and bending the ski and skidding less, which is helping me get better edge angles. I am allowing the skis to turn for me, and I can definitely feel it. What a cool sensation that is. Coach says there is noticeable improvement in lots of areas, like my forward to aft balance. Woohoo for those falling leaf drills. My edge control is better. How about those garlands and hockey stop drills? My transitions are quicker and often making a slight move forward at transition, which gets me into the next turn quicker. Can we credit those whirlybirds? There is also improvement in my lower and upper body separation. My A-framing is better, which also allows for better edge angles, and I do have to also credit my boot fitting for helping with this, as well as improving my technique. Again, in my head, I look more badass than what I actually am, but when I look at this year, I don't have as much of a cringe and old lady vibe like I did last year. I see progress. And that makes me super proud and more motivated to improve. There's lots of things to improve, and this will be a lifelong journey. But right now, I'm concentrating on trusting my inside edge more, getting into an athletic stance more, and pole planting, which I do rely heavily on pole planting on the steeps and in the glades. But on easy terrain like this, I am focusing on my carving. But again, I am having an absolute blast, and that at my age, I know I can keep improving, and that is pretty awesome. Now, my regular viewers might notice I haven't been sharing my CARV scores lately. That is intentional. Last season, I was obsessed with the data. This season, I made the conscious choice to ditch the daily digital coach. I wanted to ski by feel and go back to old school drills, hence starting this Drill Down to Level Up series. I needed to internalize these movements without looking at a phone screen on the lift to tell me if I did a good job. I might bring back Harv later in the season for a spot check because I do love the data and I know the numbers will back up what we're seeing on video. But right now, the focus is on sensation over scores. So, how did I get from the timid old lady skier on the left to the confident one on the right? Two things: intentionality and mileage. It's about intentional days. If you've been watching the series, you know I've been using Deb Armstrong drills and working them. Not perfectly, but even a bad whirly bird or a hockey stop that throws me off balance or totally on the ground is moving the needle. Drills gave me competence gave me confidence, and confidence, that's what gave me the freedom to actually make big steps in improving. I still have a long way to go. I watched this year's footage and I still see lots of flaws. But I also see a skier who is completely different from the woman who started this YouTube journey a year ago. If you are watching this and thinking it's too late for you, or you've plateaued, or you're too old to learn new tricks, I hope this video proves you wrong. Progress is possible, and you can absolutely level up at any age. And if you want to see where we go from here, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you next week as we keep on drilling down to level up. Thanks so much for watching.